Hey guys, it's the Diecast Man here, bringing you another review. Today it's on this 1/18 scale Maisto Audi R8. So I got this car at BJ's and I paid the $13.99 price for it, and I will leave a link in the description to Amazon where you guys can buy it. So without further ado, let's get this review started. This is a V8 Audi R8, and I believe it is a 2010 or so, 2008, I'm not exactly sure on the year. But it is definitely a good model. I am sure of that. Alright, so getting started on the front here, we'll take a look at the headlights. Pretty good detail. It is an older Maisto, so, you're not going to see some, tremendous detail there, but it is pretty good, with that sort of silvery metallic kind of color there. It does look pretty good. You can see the xenon bulb there pretty clearly, so that looks pretty good. And then moving to the front, we see the little Audi badge, rather. That's just there, it's embossed, which is nice, and then sort of just like a foreign plate. I'm not really familiar with the foreign plates. I live in the U.S., but I'm not really sure what that is, but that does look very nice on there. And then behind that is just a little plastic grill, and then some more little grill pieces on the side here with just some regular mesh underneath them, so not too much to see there. So moving on to the side profile, this beautiful side profile of the R8, no matter what year, and they definitely nailed this. So looking at the wheel here, the caliper does not spin through the disc does not spin through the caliper, rather, which is kind of a shame because it is definitely a nice touch. But the wheels are nice. I mean, they get that 5-spoke design, the aluminum 5-spoke design, so they look pretty good and all. And taking a look at the door here, it's that super nice, sleek Audi design here that they do on the R8, and then the little notch where the door handle would be. Mirrors, just pretty basic, just some turn signals on there. And they actually did a really good job on this whole carbon fiber inlay here, because this is like the real panel on the R8 Coupe, and they actually did a really good job. It's actually textured, and it looks pretty good. So moving on to the back, one of the things I was kind of disappointed about is from this little crease here and this little crease here all the way down, this entire back bumper is plastic, and it's exactly the same way on the front. From here down, all the way down here, this is all plastic, so that's something I was definitely kind of disappointed about. So, but you don't really notice it since it matches the tone of the actual diecast pretty well, so you wouldn't actually notice it from a distance unless, of course, you were really looking at it here. So we see the nice Audi badge here on the back, and then it says R8 as well, and then that other plate, and then the taillights. I mean, the taillights look pretty good. There's not a ton of detail there, but there's not a whole lot in the taillight of this particular gen of an R8, except maybe you can kind of see those little distinctive, whatever you want to call them, distinctive little shapes. They're almost like a sort of like a rectangle sort of thing. But you can see them kind of well in there, but they're a little bit more visible on the actual R8. And then down here, exact same piece as the front. It's just kind of that little grill design and then the mesh in the background. Exhaust ports look pretty good. Yeah, exhaust ports look pretty good themselves. So, yeah. And there is working suspension on this as well. So let's open everything up now. So we got the front compartment that goes all the way up if you want it to, and kind of triggers that door there for a little bit, but just keep it like that. And then the doors, and then the engine bay cover. So like most Maistos, there's not a ton to see here. You can just kind of see it's just more of that black plastic here with a couple of little shapes and dots and whatnot. So not too much to see there. Pretty good detail for an older Maisto, actually, for the engine bay. It's the big V8 FSI there. You can see all of that. What's supposed to be carbon fiber, not the best example of carbon fiber I've seen, but pretty good. And you can see that like acrylic window or whatever, plastic window into the cabin back there. But yeah, the engine actually does look pretty good. So before we move on to the interior, I'm going to keep the doors open. Before we move on to the interior, there's an extremely unique feature about this R8 that I really like. it's only one of 2 cars that I have in my collection that have this feature, and the other one is the Bugatti Chiron. So we take our finger here and this little black piece here, and we take our finger and we just bring it up, and it is actually a spoiler that does function as just like a tiny little wing on the back, and it looks a lot better when you display it with the wing up, and people go, oh, that's really cool, because it's cool. And they even managed to, if you bring this up and then bring this up, you can see that the carbon fiber piece continues all the way through where the spoiler is, so that's definitely nice. So yeah, I mean, it looks really nice, so I'll just keep that up. Definitely wanted to mention that though, so it's definitely a cool feature when it does stay up. Alright, taking a look at the interior. I like this interior a lot because it's a two-tone white and black, so it's a lot easier for me to film, so because normally I don't have the best lighting for all black interiors. So, and taking a look at the door panel, just typical, you know, white and black. It's got some the carbon fiber inlays there that you would see. Pedals look pretty good down there and all. And then you can see active steering works very, very nicely. There's a little gap right down there, if you can see in the corner. There's a little gap right by the door there, which is not the best thing in the world. But you know, it's okay. It's a Maisto. You got to keep reminding yourself that. And yeah, you can see all the gauges and everything there. And then we'll take a look at the center console here. You can see the map. They got the map, the Audi MMI system. Definitely down. All the buttons are colored in. You can see the big shifter in the middle there. Everything looks pretty good. And then the sport seats, the white sport seats. And then it is a 2+2, so there is no back. There's just like a little compartment back there, you know, for storage and whatnot. And then while we're right here, the gas cap is good. It says R8 on it, right like that. Taking a look underneath this model, not a whole lot to see on most models. Audi R8 1/18 scale Maisto. So yeah, I mean, it looks really good on a shelf, and you know, you can get it for a pretty affordable price, and it is an R8, so it is a pretty affordable supercar to have in your collection, so I would definitely recommend it. And that spoiler piece on the back there, that definitely is an awesome feature. I'm really glad Maisto decided to add that. So, yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say. I'll leave a link in the description, as always, to where you guys can buy this R8 on Amazon. So, thanks for watching. It's the Diecast Man, signing off.